Hello, and welcome to the P-Card Log Walkthrough video Part 1. In this video, we will discuss P-Card Log preparation, including creating a P-Card template, receipt preparation, reconciling transactions, and organizing your backup documentation. If at any time during this presentation you need any help or have a question, please email the Procure to Pay department at p2p@pierce.ctc.edu. Creating a P-Card template. There are 3 fields in the P-Card log that do not change from month to month. Therefore, it's a good idea to create a P-Card template with these 3 fields completed to save you time when reconciling your P-Card log. These 3 fields are name, department, and default chart string. If you have more than one credit card, replace your department name with the purpose of each card. For example, if you are a facilities manager and you have one card for groundskeeping and one card for maintenance, you would keep one P-Card template for each, and in the department field, enter groundskeeping or maintenance. The same goes for P-Cards assigned to specific grants. Instead of your department name, you would put the grant name. We will discuss what the default chart string is in the P-Card walkthrough video Part 3, but for now we will use the purchasing department's chart string to fill out our template. Next, let's discuss receipt preparation. First, gather your bank statement. Go through all of the transactions and find the receipts that correspond with the transactions on your statement. Next, place the receipts in the order that they are listed on the statement. We recognize that split shipments with multiple transactions can make this difficult. We will cover how to handle split shipments in a little bit, but for now, order the receipts as best as you can. It is important to remember auditors require original receipts be archived with the P-Card logs. Please do not submit copies and keep the original receipts for your own records. We do, however, highly encourage all P-Card users to make copies or scan their receipts for their own records, as a receipt copy will be accepted if the original goes missing. If you lose a receipt or never received a receipt from the vendor, please fill out an Affidavit of Lost Receipt form, located on the P-Card intranet page. Have your supervisor sign off and attach in lieu of a missing receipt. When reviewing your receipts, make sure they have all the necessary information needed. Best practices require all receipts to have the vendor name, transaction date, items purchased, pricing for each item, tax, even if it's 0, and the dollar total. Anything less will not be accepted as a receipt. You may have to contact the vendor for a better receipt if your order confirmation is lacking one of these components. Poor receipt documentation that is not questioned is one way fraud goes undiscovered. Therefore, it's important for users to submit good receipts and for approvers and auditors to check and verify receipt validity. One way to stop receipts from being lost is to tape all cash register receipts or small receipts to 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. As a side note, always staple your P-Card log documentation. Paper clips allow receipts to slip out or get mixed in with other logs. Don't use paper clips, ever. Finally, the last step in receipt preparation is to black out your credit card number on registrations or order forms. For security purpose, never leave your credit card number visible on any piece of paper. Reconciling transactions. Reconciling transactions happens before you begin to fill out your P-Card log. We reconcile to ensure that our experience with the vendor, the receipt, matches the bank's experience with the vendor, the bank statement. If there is a difference between the two, we need to account for what happened and document this information on the P-Card log. Your P-Card log should always match the total of your statement. If they don't match, you've either made a keystroke error or there's something out of balance on your receipts. It is the job of the P-Card reconciler to find out why and correct the error or make a note explaining the difference. Please do not rely on the Procure to Pay department to explain reconciliation issues to an auditor. The auditor will be directed to talk with the P-card user or reconciler to explain any P-card issues. Therefore, it's important for you to make good notes explaining what happened. Organizing backup documentation. Make sure that you have all the required backup information for your P-card log. Backup documentation is any and all documentation involving a transaction or a change in your credit card. This always includes original receipts, but it could also include the following: an affidavit of lost receipt form if you've lost a receipt, a fraud report form from the bank should you have fraud reported on your statement, a memo of wrong usage in the case of a personal purchase. This form explains what happened, what you're doing to make sure it doesn't happen again, and the memo is signed by you and the executive administrator over your department. This process would also include a deposit recovery form for when you're reimbursing the college for the accidental purchase. And finally, a federal department verification printout for any purchase using federal grant funds. These forms will either take the place of the original receipt when required, or they will be supplemental to the receipt. Remember to place them in the same order as your bank statement as best as you can. Finally, let's talk about split shipments. When you buy multiple items, a vendor sometimes takes multiple days or weeks to process the order based on product availability. Your one order may end up being charged in multiple transactions based on the amount of shipments made due to when the quantities needed became available. It is important to remember your credit card isn't charged until the items you ordered are shipped. Multiple shipments means multiple credit card charges on your bank statement. When dealing with split shipments on your bank statement, as long as the multiple transactions equal the total of your original receipt, you can do one line item on your P-card log. Make sure to note on your P-card log that this one transaction is split into X amount of transactions on your statement, like this. If the multiple transactions don't equal your original receipt, you'll either want to go to the vendor to get receipts that reflect the charges on the statement, or if that's not possible, write an explanation as to what occurred. Many times, vendors such as Amazon will include smaller receipts with each shipment when your order has been split. Should you need help with reconciling split shipments, please contact the Procure to Pay department. We do encourage you to scan receipts and statements in an email to us, as it is hard for us to help individuals without seeing the documentation. Now that you have all of your receipts prepared and documentation in order, you can move forward with the P-card log walkthrough video part 2. If you have any questions about the information presented in this video, please use the other walkthrough videos as a resource or email the Procure to Pay department at p2p@pierce.ctc.edu. Thank you so much.